Hey, this is Clayton Smith, founder of Minimap AI, and this is the Kickstarter Week 4 update video. Today we'll be going over two topics: the site traffic stats and changes that we're making to our Kickstarter campaign. So first, with site traffic stats, last week we reported that we had seen over 1,800 visitors to the site since our initial launch. And at the time of recording last week's video, we had seen a peak of 80 visitors on the site within a 24-hour span, which was huge for us. But even after that video was made, that number continued to climb to that day until we hit 100 visitors that night, which was awesome. I was glued to the stats bar just watching the numbers like tick up. Since then, we'd continued with our ad campaign on Reddit, and we dabbled with ads on Google, just trying to get our name out in front of people who are dealing with the type of problem domain that Minimap aims to solve, which is just being able to see content at a high level, understanding the content space that you're in whenever you're reading or engaging with content. And as of this week, our highest traffic day is now 416 visitors as of May 3rd. And we've had over 3,100 visitors to the site since our initial launch. These numbers are massive. This is insane. We were not prepared to handle these types of numbers. And just looking at our back end, at our data infrastructure, watching all of the systems chug away, trying to provide the data needed to actually visualize the map, it was cool to see this kind of load on our systems. It was exciting. And so this is pretty motivating for us, just seeing this kind of engagement with the platform, the kind of usage that this drove, and hearing some of the feedback on how we can make the first experience for users better, more self-evident in terms of like what the platform is trying to do, what it can do for users, and the value that it brings for anyone who's in the news space right now and just trying to understand the stories that they're digesting, or for the future when we move on past news and we explore social media or e-commerce sites or anything that our algorithms are capable of understanding. So this is big for us. However, even though we're seeing record-breaking days with site traffic and engagement, our Kickstarter has been stale. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any positive movement with the Kickstarter campaign for the last week and a half now. And for us, that's a signal to reevaluate how we communicate what Minimap is, the reward tiers for the Kickstarter backers, and the way that the application is built out such that it's more self-evident what certain buttons or features do for the user. So to start with the signals that we put out, we have revised our Kickstarter a little bit, tweaked the language so it's more focused on the value that it brings for the user, what you actually gain from using a content cartography tool versus just looking at massive flat lists of things, being able to step back and avoid the corkboard and string exercise that most sites leave for the users, and being able to see the full scope of a story or collection of content as distributed and understood by the algorithm, the thing that actually pushes content into our feeds. And then secondly, reevaluating our reward tiers. Before we get into why we structured our original tiers the way we did or the changes we're about to make, first, let's start with the data. This is a chart showing 10 Kickstarters in the same industry that we're in. They're web technology companies that were all able to successfully fundraise at or beyond their initial targets. And so what this chart shows is the number of backers versus the average contribution size. And the immediate takeaway here is that projects either have a small number of large backers or a large number of small backers. And so that would mean a project like this project at the bottom right had over 12,000 backers where the average backing was about $50. Or like this project at the top left where they had apparently 100 backers, but their average backing was $350. And so we had to pick a place on this line where we wanted to calibrate our reward tiers to. And so what we ended up doing is we evaluated what it would take to successfully raise $65,000. So we found that if we wanted to target a small number of larger backers, we would only need 250 backers with an average contribution of about $250. And for us, that felt much more obtainable than an average backing of $50 with 1,300 or more smaller backers. And that's how we landed on our current reward tiers. And so we had the exclusive map with 12 months premium, the obelisk, the physical map of digital content, the hoodie. All of these things were geared towards a smaller number of backers at a higher tier, at a higher price tag. And our hope was that these are backers that are going to support us because of the vision. They saw the platform, that they understood what it was that we're doing, and were able to support us at these levels, because not only were they incentivized by the tiers that we were offering, the rewards that they would get, but also out of genuine interest for the project. And so then when we started getting data and feedback from the campaign once it was live, it was clear that we needed to recalibrate our reward tiers. And so now what we're doing is we're going to readjust our current reward tiers and focus on this bottom corner where the average backing is about $50, $75, maybe $100, and open up to a wider number of backers. Given this new target on the curve, we've updated our reward tiers to match. And so this means we'll be upgrading every tier. So if you've already purchased or backed a tier on the Kickstarter campaign, you are going to be receiving an upgrade. And for anyone new, you're just getting a better deal. And so we're combining the Badge of Honor and 3 months premium. That is, the original $15 and $25 tiers are now just the $25 tier, the Badge of Honor, and that's now, instead of 3 months premium, that's 12 months premium. And additionally, we just got some cool holographic stickers that our new teammate Melinda made for us. Then for our $50 tier, that used to be just early access plus any of the previous tiers, now that's coming with the obelisk and early access. And of course, that's going to include the previous tier as well. For the $100 tier, that used to be the exclusive map skins and 12 months premium. Now it is the map skins, 12 months premium, early access, the obelisk, and it will include the physical map as well. We even have a test print of what that 3D print will look like. And so this is going to be an actual 3D print of the largest map that we have right now. That's the 365-day map. And these are slated to ship by July of 2025. And our hope is by that point, we have a more evolved algorithm. We have a wider content landscape that we can show, and that's more content, more different types of content, and so more distinct terrain features. And that's the map that we ultimately want to ship out to people. And so this new $100 tier is going to include that map plus the exclusive map skin. We're adding a new $150 tier to the rewards that we're offering. That's going to include the hoodie plus an invite to our quarterly update meetings. We're going to continue to try to put out regularly scheduled content that's just explaining what we're doing, new releases, all of that and more. But this meeting is specifically for larger investors of Minimap so that we can show exactly like what we're doing, where we're focusing our resources, and how the project is going to ensure that we're meeting the goals that we set forth in this Kickstarter campaign. Lastly, we've changed the price of the landmark tier. And so for advertisers, for businesses, companies, communities that want to represent themselves on the map, this is the tier that we take your logo and a description of that entity, of your community, your company, and put that on the map and let that logo land where the algorithm understands it. And so originally this was a $5,000 tier. Now we are moving this to a $1,000 tier. And so again, this is more focused on enterprises, on larger communities, entities that can make that kind of investment and help us show what it looks like to be a landmark on the map and represent yourself in the content landscape. Again, this is like how Google Maps has landmarks for Starbucks or McDonald's or any storefront that has a physical location that you can see on the map. We want to be able to provide the same service where there is a content landscape, there is relevant content about some entity, and we can express their logo, the understanding of that entity in the content landscape natively as the algorithm understands. And lastly, for the few people that did get in at the hoodie tier or the physical map tier, we are cooking up something special just for those people because we do want to honor their early on support for the platform. And so we are going to be making something specially for them to look forward to. So hang tight. And with all of those changes, with rebalancing our reward tiers, with the traffic that we're seeing to the site, we're hoping that we can convert more of that traffic to pledges and contributors for our Kickstarter campaign and get ourselves funded. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you're enjoying the project update. Please help us reach our goal by contributing to our Kickstarter campaign and sharing the campaign on your socials. And don't forget to join our Discord, link in the description. We'd love hearing your feedback. Have a great one.